Ready? You going?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're talking with Ogre from Skinny Puppy / Ogre. So how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Very good. Thank you.
How was the show last night?
It went well. It was our first show, so it was a smaller show. We played down at the House of Blues, but it ended up what could have been seen as a down thing ended up being a really good thing. We were in a small kind of room in there, and it was very, very, very intimate. And the response was amazing. The response from the audience actually really surprised me. It was like I think that's what kind of pushed the whole thing forward. So I got out on stage kind of in one of those modes of being content with everything but ready for anything at the same time. And I think their response is what really kind of threw the whole thing into a whole different place. And so for a first show, it was amazing. We like. The whole thing about this tour is being able to kind of veer off and go into some kind of exposed areas where we're kind of jamming on the spot, and that's kind of the fun that we've had. And I've always had fun with Justin doing that. Justin and I, the drummer for Skinny Puppy, and is drumming on this tour, is amazing at being able to kind of like spot pick things and like work with. It's funny, we've gotten to the point now. And on Skinny Puppy, it was more about when we had breakdowns or something, we'd continue on, and he and I just locked into each other all the time. So we've continued that now. So we've been going off and do a lot of jams, and we did that last night, and hopefully that'll continue.
Oh, nice, cool. Now you've been pretty busy these last few years. I mean, since like.
Have I been busy, Tawny?
Well, since like 2000. I mean, when you had your reunion, then you went from that to obviously making the last two Ogre albums, to going all the way to two Skinny Puppy albums, all the way to making a movie.
I don't think of things like that, but yeah, I mean, that it sounds great when it's all truncated together, kind of. But when it's still it's nice. I'm fucking thrilled. As I'm sure you can probably tell. I mean, it's like to be able to kind of come to this point with this record. I'm really happy with this record, and even doing this tour, which has been a bit of a challenge to get off the ground. It's totally worth it. I've never had more fun going into it, and I've never had less tension, kind of, and more kind of enthusiasm about the actual tour than I ever have before. And yeah, it's been kind of busy with the movie and with that kind of stuff. It's been kind of an interesting run around, and things have kind of come together at an apex right now with the movie. Just came out last week, and that was an amazing experience, and it kind of all traveled into making this record in a lot of ways. So it's going to come full circle, and then we're doing another Skinny Puppy record right after that as well. So.
Wow. So when are we looking at the release for that? Oh,
probably
somebody likes me. Sorry.
Next year. Next year we're looking at a Skinny Puppy record, and I know Kevin has a schedule of trying to get the tour happening by the end of summer, and we're hoping for that, but we'll see where things go with this. And, we're doing this run of dates to see where it goes from there, and they're actually taking Time Bomb off the record and servicing it to radio. So
nice.
If that and I mean 103.1 sponsoring this show, and so they've been very supportive and like the record. So we'll see where it goes. It's kind of a building process. I feel like this is kind of a bit of a building process again for this band.
Because it's be pretty weird too, because I think when I've ever heard you on the radio, it's always been like on a college radio station, or at 103.1 it's actually pretty big. It's very indie oriented.
Well, it was kind of more indie oriented. Now actually, with a lot of the Clear Channel stations and all that, a lot of people are actually picking up 103.1's playlist and using that as their own playlist around the country. So they become a lot more. They're still kind of edgy and kind of are into kind of the shit that I like, but they're they're a bit more a bit more current, a bit more modern, and a bit and they also kind of go back into the 80s, and they have that kind of vibe too. Can you turn that down a little bit, Don?
Yeah, I'm actually doing. Sarah, I will come out.
Go ahead.
That's what I just asked.
Thanks.
So what's it like seeing you on the big screen? I mean, you gotta be like pretty amazed and just like, wow.
Well, I mean, I was shocked that I didn't actually, recoil in terror when I saw myself, with the faces and all of that's a bit, it's a bit ludicrous, to be honest with you. I mean, Bill Moseley was nice enough to, the Comic-Con thing was, that was surreal. The first one I did was up in Toronto. We actually went on a red carpet for, it was the Toronto Film Festival, and then they took us all in a limo, and we ended up in a queue outside this event, and I don't even remember what the event was. Some party, some like film festival party, And we were all sitting in the limo. It was a bit like, reminded me in a nice way, not in the, but remember in that movie Ed Wood, the Tim Burton film Ed Wood, where they're all driving down to the premiere and they're all in the car. It was a bit like that, you know. Paul Sorvino was in the car. We were all in the car and we were all waiting for like Hilary Duff to get off the red carpet. And my first experience of it was literally the doors open and you walk out and you see a director over here. And you see the red carpet begins, and on either side there's people, but they're not people that wouldn't even give a shit about me, or maybe Alexa Vega and whoever else was there. I don't think Anthony was there, but you know, those people at this quote, and it's just like literally it's all directed. It's like you walk out, the director's like, and it's like, it's just so. It was surreal for me because, you know, I mean, I come from this world, which is a bit of an illusion too, but at least, you know, when you're walking outside a club and your people are there, they're there because they're there to see you. I'm sorry. Come on, I'm sorry. It was a bit surreal for me, the red carpet thing, and then at the premiere in Vegas, it was the same thing. It was like Bill and I, you know, Bill always had a joke from a Russian director he worked for, and he had some ideas in a scene that he was like, you know, Vladimir, you know, I have this idea for the scene, maybe I could, like, you know, reach into him, and he goes, Bill, in this scene, you're this big. So we always had this joke of like, you know, in this scene, Bill, we're this big. And so, you know, we were always kind of in the background in a lot of things. So the red carpet for Bill and I was more about really being cannon fodder. And at the Vegas show, we literally went down. It was at Planet Hollywood, and there was a escalator that went down. Come on in. We went down the red carpet, and they actually had the red carpet right in the casino. And when you drive up from the bus, it says, on the sign it says, you know, red carpet event tonight with Paris Hilton, you know, movie premiere. You know, it doesn't even say the movie, but it's like, you know, Paris Hilton, red carpet event. So they have it in the casino, so it brings people into the casino. So you basically, Bill and I went down, and everybody looks up, they're looking, you know, they look at us and look over our shoulders, waiting for the next person. So we're the cannon fodder to go down and do all that. So that part of it was probably the least enjoyable for me, because doing even the interviews, it's just, you know, I'm some unknown person playing this person in a mask, but the actual process of making the film was one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Oh yeah, you're always behind a mask as Skinny Puppy.
Absolutely.
Too, you know?
That was an amazing transition for me. Sorry, darling. It's an amazing. Don't worry, he's a strange one. Sorry. It was a good transition for me in the sense that it didn't require a lot of lines. Because everything was recorded ahead of time, and so it was all just kind of, you know, more of what I do, which is, you know, theatrical. It was very theatrical too, which is great, so I could totally overdo things instead of pulling it back for film. And he, you know, Darren kind of let me go. I really kind of went far out in the edge with the character at first. It was a lot more. I had it more like in this really kind of like monkey, almost gated walk. Like he had a lot of surgeries. You know, his pelvis was changed. Everything was changed, so he had a lot of problems from it. But I pulled it back in the performance to kind of make it more part of the ensemble cast and less about this crazy looking creature in a lot of ways. So that was it, and it was a lot of fun for me to do. Jesus Christ! Sorry.
It's a party.
No,
Let's talk about the new CD, Devil in My Details.
Yeah.
What's the whole story behind it? What gave you that? Oh, let's have it that title. And
Devils in My Details came. I originally, I was going to call the album Blurry Dotted Eyes, I''S, after this little girl. I was going to do something more on the idea of animals that are either rescued or seem completely.
I'll stop it. Just go
out of here. Animals that are completely. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus. Hey, what do I gotta do to get fucking rid of this guy?
Baby, do you want to go in through the back door?
Why is it getting crowded? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't care really.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I'll go through the back door. You just tell me what I should do, okay?
You want me to do? I'll come get you in 10.
Okay.
Is that enough?
To Hellboy box.
Oh, awesome. Okay, that's great.
10 minutes enough time?
Yeah. Tim Gore did our suit on this. You'll see the suit at the beginning of the show. Tim Gore used to do the stuff for Skinny Puppy back in the day. He's just worked on Hellboy.
Oh, really?
He's actually in Hellboy. He's the guy who says Hellboy is fucking ugly.
Oh, really?
Remember, he's the big guy who's like, you know. Have you seen Hellboy 2? Have you seen Hellboy 2?
I haven't seen
that.
So you see that, you remember the big guy, looks like a street guy, that's Tim Gore. He built the suit I'm wearing tonight. I can't remember what I was talking about. So, the album. Had like originally thought of doing something more in the vein of the idea of rescue dogs, and she was blind when I found her, so I had the idea of like you know, dogs that seem hopeless and seem like they're lost causes, a lot of people would just take back, they'd be euthanized, and she's turned out to be the most amazing dog I think I've ever had as far as her spirit. You know, just she's an amazing fucking dog, and she would have died for sure. It wasn't me that found her and took the time, because she was, like I was saying, she had this she looked like Linda Blair. She was literally spewing out of her nose, and whoever had her before was beating her for it too, probably because it's probably like bad dog, because when I first went up to her, I'd try and hold her and she'd run away from me and run under the table, and she has when they went in and spayed her, that she's got scarring all over her backside and stuff like that. So she's come a long way, and so I was going to do this album based on life through a dog's eyes, her kind of seeing my weird life through her eyes, through her blurry dotted eyes, and that changed because of an experience I kind of went through that tended to push us in the direction of Devils in My Details. And
it's almost kind of like your '88 tour, when you started off as a doctor, and then at the end of the show becoming.
Well, I've always had a huge, whether it's my own inability to socialize or what it is, but I've always had a huge affinity to animals and to.
Well, the Vivisect 6, right?
Yeah, all that. It's like, it's all about, vivisection to me is something that's definitely kind of unnecessary in most cases, and I still see it as more of a. Animals are objectified and turned into a commodity, or they almost become the basis for an industry, and it's an industry that's kind of, I think, based on a lot of needless testing, and becomes, they just become some like wheat or corn in a lot of ways, where they're used to like test things that needn't be tested, or things, especially with human models, where they don't even match up really. So they're doing like, there's been a litany of tests that I could discuss that, that were tested on animals and ended up being, either ineffective on humans or actually caused more problems in humans. The polio vaccine is a classic example of that.
You can see that in a lot of your old videos too.
Yeah, so I've always kind of, struck a chord with animals. I mean, I'm the type right now, after this experience that I had where I was escorting flies out of the house, because I just couldn't handle seeing them even just bashing their heads against the glass. So that's kind of where I'm at as a person, which is, a bad or good thing, but,
That's cool. All right, well, I think we are done.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Are we good? All right, so tour. Will you be coming back again?
Well, we'll see. I mean, if this goes well and when we do this first circuit, I mean, I definitely want to take this on the road to Europe really bad, and if everybody wants to do it, I'm totally into doing it. The reason I did this in the first place was because everybody wanted to do it, and now I'm having a gas, and I'm totally glad I did it. And I want to I've always wanted to tour this in Europe, and if we can come back around and keep doing this and build on it, we'll see. Once the single gets sent to radio and stuff like that, and then we'll see what happens from that point on. But we're doing this tour right now, and if the economy changes, and if things change over in Europe, and the offers change, it's a matter of like, again, I kind of feel like this is a rebuilding process for this band, because we toured in 2001 and didn't tour for like almost 7 years, so it's like starting over again in a lot of ways, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens.
And you have Bill Mosley here, right?
Bill Mosley's doing spoken word tonight, but not only that, it's like the band that I have, the only remaining member from the original band is Bill, and he sucks, but the rest of the guys are fucking awesome. Having Justin on drums is fucking amazing, and he's kind of, in a lot of ways the like ringleader. He's taken on a real commanding role in this, and Bill's there, but he's not really contributing much anymore. So.
I'll just take my gear and go home.
No, I'm serious. No, it's a great group of people, and Jeff Smith is playing keyboards, and he's proven to be a really fast-fingered mofo, and we're working things out as we go. But I think the group dynamic's amazing, and I'd love to continue on with it, because it's a lot of fun, for me. So.
Cool. All right.
Ozzy's down.
So we got the tour. We got Skinny Puppy next year.
Yep.
And we are good. Thank you very much.
Check out Repo.
Most definitely.
Either on DVD, it's coming out January on DVD. You'll love it or you'll hate it, but it is different and unique and fun. So
Plus Darren did it, so it's got to be good.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I've seen it 3 times now, and all the haters, I'm just like, it's getting a bum rap. It really is. From Lionsgate,
Really?
yeah, fuck yeah, it is. It's getting a real bum rap.
I'll have to send Justin.
Ridiculous. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks
yeah.
for your support.